Hello, thanks for joining me. My name is Lee Cunningham from UID Me, the UK's leading emergency ID and alert service. I want to talk to you today about a subject which is, well, drop dead crucial for you if you're a parent. I myself am a parent. I've got a young daughter who has just reached a stage where she's, pottering around. She's a toddler, and my wife and I recently purchased some reins for her because she does like to explore somewhat on her own. And I'm also in a position with UID Me, having run the business now since 2012, or just before, but 2012 incorporated, where I've read so many stories from other parents about those moments where the child just goes missing, even though it's sometimes for God forbid a very short period of time, God forbid more, even longer, and the anxiety that parents go through when that happens. And if you're a parent, it happens, and it's probably happened, and even if it's just you think they've gone missing and you look to one side, you look to the other, and it might be right behind you or whatever, and that horror that fills us as parents is just it's absolutely unimaginable, isn't it? I mean, you can imagine if you've experienced that, just how severe and how bad and how ill it would make you feel if that went on substantially for a period of time, minutes, hours, days, and even longer. So, having read stories from parents, and we've for many years now we've sold the Vital ID range of products. We love Vital ID, and we've got a great relationship with the directors over there at Vital ID, and we love the product basically because the way it's constructed, it's very honest, it's very robust, and much better than the kind of imported wristbands that you can, that's kind of sourced from China. So we took the Vital ID product and we made some improvements using the UID Me service. So all the components that you get in the packet with Vital ID are still obviously there, but we include the UID Me labels, which change the product greatly in that in the event of an emergency, if your child was to become, let's talk about lost and missing children. If your child was lost in an emergency and a first responder was to look at the ID band, take out the ID card, look at the, type in the UID Me number, dependent on which profile or plan that's on, that can immediately trigger an emergency alert to both parents or guardians to let them know that the child has been found. And that in itself has been a real comfort to people in places like airports and busy stations. If you take a look on the UID Me blog, there's a couple of stories on there. One in particular that I remember where the parent was absolutely beside herself, and she was at the I think in the airport at the information desk trying to tell the person behind to give a description of her daughter, and then all of a sudden the phone went and it was a text to say that the profile had been accessed. And she said immediately, shortly after that, then the phone rang and she answered the phone, and of course it was the person that located her daughter. So it's a really helpful service. But for me, for travelling, for the millions of us that go on holiday every year, and obviously times that by 2 or 3 for the number of children that get taken abroad by us parents every year. For what it costs, the Vital ID wristbands available on the UID-Me website are absolutely, I mean, they're priceless for the peace of mind that they can give in that scenario. Now that's for children that perhaps become lost or go missing. The benefits are huge. But then there's also like the medical aspects of the bands as well, because the cards are fully waterproof, by the way. So you know, it's actually not card. It's like it's almost like a plasticized paper, which is really clever, because that means it can be absolutely submerged in water for as long as, you know, for weeks, and it's never going to go mushy. It will always be legible, always be readable, as long as you've used a permanent pen. So you can look at our website and blog for what pen we recommend. But if then you take the whole kind of market of child medical conditions, so there's everything from autism through to epilepsy, through to childhood diabetes, to ADHD, and each of them are very different. With the ID bands from Vital ID, there is a small space on the bottom of the, I don't think you'll be able to see it there, but on the card there, there's a small space to put medical conditions. With the UID-Me feature, you can just broaden that right out, so you can literally put crisis planning information, you can put as many emergency contacts as you wish to, you know, you can put you can literally put a set of instructions of what to do in the event of an emergency. And again, if that's linked up to our Platinum plan, then that's going to, or it can do optionally, alert parents in the event of that the profile is accessed in an emergency. So that might be, well, anyone. It could be a member of the public, it could be a school teacher, it could be a paramedic, it could be a medical professional, first responder of any kind, any helper. As soon as they access the UID-Me profile, which they can do in usually, well, up to 3 ways. There's a 12-digit ID that can be typed into the UID-Me portal. That's one way. There is, on most of the ID products, there's a QR code which can be scanned with a free app that most phones have got anyway. And then optionally there's the NFC option as well, which allows you to just simply touch the card with the device, and that will literally do the rest. That will just access the profile. So again, the Platinum plan is the only plan that will alert parents in the event that the profile is accessed in an emergency, but it's really, really fast. We use the fastest SMS routes that you can buy for obvious reasons, and that can just put your mind at rest. So whether it's holidaying, traveling, or just going to, like, you know, busy supermarkets and stations and that kind of thing, this we've found consistently year after year has been a really high demand for it, and we love the coupling up of the Vital ID with our own UID-Me brand. But the wristbands themselves are extremely comfortable, totally waterproof, robust, you know, they last for years. So yeah, so that's a really good buy. So check it out on the UID-Me website. You can find it in the store. Please, as always, if you want any more, if you've got any more questions, email support@u-id.me. And if you find the video helpful at all, please do click the like button. It really helps us, that like button, and subscribe if you will for more hints and tips on how to keep yourself and your children safe whilst out and about.